Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As some of you know, I'm on my TTC or trying to conceive journey. In this video, I'm going to specifically be talking about getting a late period, but also getting a negative result on your pregnancy test. Now, there's two different ways this could play out. Either you're getting a false negative and you are actually pregnant and that's why you're missing your period, or you are getting an accurate result and you're not actually pregnant. And there's a couple different reasons, well actually there's many different reasons why you could actually be getting a late period and also not be pregnant. So with me being on this journey, I was just super curious to do research on the back end, watch other people who had done videos on this topic because this is specifically going on with me right now. I've been tracking my cycle lengths through the Flow app for the past 8 months, and my cycles are as long as 42 days. And right now I'm on cycle day number 51. So even if it was my longest cycle, I would still be 9 days late. And I've been taking pregnancy tests like crazy. I've been taking ovulation tests, and it's just like negative, negative, negative on everything. So I'm definitely going to link some other videos that I found useful and also go over the different scenarios of why you may be getting a false negative or why your period might be late and you are not actually pregnant. Now, it can be super frustrating, especially in times like these, if you're also on your TTC journey. You know, like, I don't want to get my hopes up like, oh, you know, I'm pregnant, I missed my period, or I'm late, I missed my period, and I'm just like waiting and waiting for this positive result. So it's definitely a little bit frustrating because it's like, okay, if I'm not pregnant, let's just move on, get my period so you can get to the next cycle and potentially try again. So my husband and I have been trying for about 8 months now, so it's definitely getting to the point where it's like, okay, you know, is this going to happen or not? So you can fast forward a little bit if you know how pregnancy tests work. I'm just going to touch on this really quickly. HCG is what is detected by the pregnancy test and makes you get that positive result. After the implantation happens with the egg, the placenta is what starts to give off this HCG, and it rapidly increases by the day after implants. So some pregnancy tests can give you a positive result 6 days before your missed period. So you know, I have a pretty good feeling that I'm not pregnant just because, you know, these tests are saying that they can get a positive 6 days before, and I am already 9 days after. So I think just something else is going on here. But for you, it could be different, so just keep watching. I'll go through some different things that could be happening and different reasons why you might be getting a false negative. So I did note right here, 46% of women, which is almost half, have a variance in their cycle from 7 days plus or minus. So it is really common to have fluctuations in your cycle, and I'm noting that because a lot of people will be like, you know, I'm a day late, I'm 2 days late, and it's like, okay, that could be just a fluctuation in your cycle. And then there are those out there that have super regular on the dot cycles, and they're like, no, I know I'm late, I'm always on schedule. So just wanted to note that if you're fairly new to tracking your cycle and you're not exactly sure if you're late or not. So some reasons why you might be late on your period and not pregnant. This could be a really widespread. What I recommend doing and what I personally did is kind of go through process of elimination here. So like, for example, weight, if you're underweight, or really overweight, that could be a cause. Over exercising, stress, celiac, diabetes, illness, travel, menopause, PCOS, which is basically polyovarian cysts, so cyst on your ovary. Ectopic pregnancy, that's where the egg actually implants in your fallopian tube, or it could be a thyroid issue. So as you can see, some of these are pretty easy to eliminate. Like, for example, if you're not overweight or underweight, or like you haven't really boosted up your exercise from what you normally do, you can kind of cross those things off. When in doubt, definitely go to a doctor. I haven't gone to a doctor because I just feel like they're going to be like, oh, it's nothing, and then the next day I'm going to get my period or something like that. So if you're really concerned and it'll put your mind at ease, definitely go to a doctor. But these are just some things, and again, I'll link all of the research below and link up to some other videos that I found useful. So there's a couple other girls out there that have written on this, and they did actually end up getting their period and they were late, and I'll link that above. And if you read the comments below, you can see all of the women that are saying like, I thought I was pregnant, I was 5 days later, I thought I was pregnant, I was like 10 days late, and then I got my period the next day. So when I saw all of those comments, I was kind of like, brought me back to reality. I'm like, okay, I'm probably not pregnant. Look at all of these girls saying that they didn't end up being pregnant and their period was late. It's very, very common, and it's really rare to get a false negative. But there is a chance, and the reasons that you could be late and pregnant but get a negative test result is your urine could be too diluted, so they recommend waiting about 4 hours to use the test. So just not diluting your urine too much, or even just testing in like different times of the day. It could be a faulty or expired test. You're not waiting long enough for results. So there's a couple funny videos I watched where like women would literally throw their pregnancy test in the trash after like a minute, and then like 10 minutes later look in the trash and it was like a positive and they thought it was a negative. Testing too early or too late. So if you were expecting your period and it's about that time and you're a couple days late, well, if it's a longer cycle or you ovulated for some reason a little bit later in your cycle than you normally do, then you might not get that test result right away. And although you can test up to 6 days, the tests become more accurate the closer you get to your period date. Late ovulation, I kind of just touched on that. If you test too late, there's something called the hook effect. So say like you missed your period and then you kind of like just didn't think anything of it and you went on a trip, and then like weeks and weeks later you're like, wait, I haven't gotten my period, and it's been like weeks and weeks and weeks. Well, if you test too late, you may have too high levels of HCG and it could actually give you a false negative. So just keep that in mind. I was really interested to know the same thing that can happen with the hook effect on testing too late is also the case potentially if you are pregnant with twins or triplets. You put off more of that HCG, therefore potentially giving you a false negative result. Some women, and I'll link a video to one girl I was watching, she got tested by the doctor, they did a blood test, a urine test, and the baby was totally fine. She thought she was pregnant and she just wasn't producing, for whatever reason, enough HCG for the pregnancy test to get her that positive result. So there is a chance that you just might be one of those odd ones, special ones, I guess. And again, I'll link her video because I thought that was super interesting that, it was totally healthy, totally fine pregnancy, but for whatever reason, all of these tests were coming up negative, and she was already like several weeks along, but had been testing when she missed her period, and then from that time moving forward. So there's definitely a lot to think about. I hope you can kind of do process of elimination and maybe try some of these different things, or just wait a little bit longer if it's only been like a couple days, or maybe even like 3 to 4 days. The Clear Blue site also says if you get a negative result and it's your missed period day or the day you're expecting your period, to just wait a week and test again. So just keep testing, use process of elimination. When in doubt, go visit your doctor. One more thing I wanted to mention was that pregnancy will come with other symptoms. So like, are you feeling, breast or nipple tenderness or swollenness like out of your normal, like PMS symptoms? Are you having different cramping than you normally would? Are you having spotting? Are you having nausea, morning sickness, those types of things, or like extreme fatigue? A lot of the symptoms of early pregnancy cross over with PMS, but there's some that are specific to pregnancy, and if you want to see a video on that, I'll definitely be more than happy to do that for you guys. I hope you found this video useful and it puts your mind at ease a little bit, or at least gives you some food for thought. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. I do a ton of videos on just like trying to conceive topics, beauty, health, wellness, fitness. So definitely subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you on the next one.